Hi, I'm Dr. Zeb Jansanti. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Bethel Park School District, and we're here to give you an update on the Independence Middle School construction renovation. The renovation at IMS will occur, and it'll be another year and a little bit more than a year it'll be finished, but our sixth graders won't move over until the year 2025 when the K-5 Elementary Center will be constructed and completed. So right now we are renovating IMS, and as you know, 10 years ago we built the high school, which is 9 to 12. This will become 6, 7, and 8 once the K-5 Elementary Center is built at the site of current Neil Armstrong Middle School. So with all that said, there's a plan, and the plan is students first and really 21st century learning. All this has to be in conjunction with having our students prepared to go out in the world and be ready to go. And now we're going to go inside and actually look at some of the construction occurring in IMS, and we're going to meet Steve, the construction manager from SiteLogic. So at this point in time, Steve, welcome. Thank you for sharing your information this morning with us.
Sure.
Give us a quick overview as far as timeline, construction, supplies, because I know supply chain is always a consideration. How do you feel about where we are with the project, and when do you anticipate certain phases to be completed?
Sure. So we're in the initial phase 1, which we have split into two, phase 1A, phase 1B. Phase 1A is the administration suite, which is the area right behind me that will be ready for the start of school this year. Phase 1B is the classroom, sixth grade classroom wing, which is scheduled for completion about mid-October. We hope after that point in time that we can roll right into what we call our phase 2 of the project, which would be the renovation of the rest of the building, which will take us to the end of 2023. As far as supply chain issues, yes, we have had a few, mostly with electronic equipment, electrical, switchgear, things like that, wooden doors, just your typical problem with supply chain issues that everybody's having these days. But nothing that's really affected us badly, just going to cause us to finish at the very last minute of the first phase.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, you mentioned sixth grade wing. Let me just add a little bit to that. Folks may not know this, but currently IMS is a 7th and 8th grade building. So we are in the process of another project, which is a K-5 elementary center. When that center is complete around 2025, the sixth graders will move up into this wing that you're talking about. The wing is on the first floor, the main floor coming in around the corner. And so you're preparing, getting this all ready. Once the sixth grade wing is done, I believe we're going to use that wing to help phase the other parts of the project. In other words, teachers, when you work on the second floor, they'll be brought down to some of those sixth grade classrooms to be staged. You also have some temporary classrooms in the library that were constructed so that phasing could occur. So I just want to make a point, sixth grade is not coming in the fall. They'll be here in about 3 years from now, and you're doing all this work with the idea that this is going to turn into a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade building.
Correct, yes. By completing the sixth grade classroom wing, as you said, then that gives us the ability to transfer classrooms into a new space while we renovate the previous space, so that the goal is when you're ready to bring sixth grade, you'll have a completely renovated building.
Let's shift gears a little bit here, Steve. From your end, you mentioned supply chains. Do you see any delay to the start of the school year? People want to know Well, we're going to have a delay because we can't get this construction under control because of supply chain. Do you anticipate that being a problem?
Right now, we do not anticipate that being a problem.
Great, that's fantastic. Anything you want to say about this main office behind you? I know I'm going to do a little bit about the educational aspect. Anything from your end? I know you have a secure vestibule that's going to be constructed. Tell us some more about this space.
Well, just a renovation, expanded space for opening your new guidance offices, new principal, assistant principal's offices, just a much more open concept. Plus, as you said, the security vestibule. So now when people come to the door, they don't have access. They have to go into the office before they can be released to the rest of the building.
Oh, that's great. That sounds like it's going to be really not only fresh and new, but it'll be functional. And it's going to be, once again, I'm really excited about the look that we're going to have, and that we're going to have a great educational environment for students that will gear them for 21st century learning. So Steve, thank you, and thank you for all the work that you're doing, because I know you folks are working extremely hard to meet these timelines. So thank you, Steve.
Yep, my pleasure.
So we're at the main entrance of the IMS school, and this is the vestibule, which will be kind of a way to funnel visitors into the main office. As Steve mentioned, this is the first entry point into the building. So let me give you a little bit more. So there's going to be a wall constructed about down here, and that will force our visitors to go into the main office. Once they're buzzed in, they'll have to show their license. That license will be raptored as far as accessibility into the building, and from there, the visitors will be, of course, welcome. Here we are in the newly constructed 6th grade wing. It's also reconfigured. So basically, with the middle school concept, there are pods of teams of classrooms. And can't tell you the names of these teams, but we're setting up the school in a way that will be conducive for learning, and that students will know their teachers and have familiarity with a certain group, and those students will work together. So I'm in one of the 6th grade newly constructed pods. This area is the main core areas that students will be a part of. In other words, if I'm on the team that's in this area, I have math, I have science, I have social studies, I have English language arts. I will go out into the building for specials like music, health and phys education, art. I'll go out into the building to get those subjects, but I will stay in the main core for my subjects in one of these pods. I'm sure you won't recognize this space, but we're currently standing in the IMS library area. So to my left and behind me, you'll see a couple temporary classrooms, and they're so well constructed, you're going to say, I can't believe they're going to tear this down when they're done. But yes, temporary classrooms so that we can phase some of the other rooms. Teachers and students will move here for a couple months while their new space is being prepared. So right now I'm standing in one of the restroom areas, and you can see we have existing walls that are going to remain, but we are demoing inside those areas so that we can make it ADA compliant for students. With that said, we'll also have an area that will be kind of a family restroom, unisex restroom, so that folks can have a little bit of privacy. So this, once again, is one of our restroom areas. So once again, we're in one of the 6th grade wings, in other words, one of the pods. And with any construction, you find some snags or some adjustments. This area, we found that you had to take some extra work, remove a cement wall, and do some construction up above with structure with beams. So basically, it's kind of like a renovation at home. Until you open up the walls, you don't really know what you're going to find. And so this area will become 2 separate science classrooms that will facilitate 2 different 6th grade teams. So with the addition of 6th grade in a few years, that's going to be me adding 300 plus students to this building. So we need to have a way to get students in coming off the buses. So we've created a 6th grade kind of access point. So they'll be able to get off the buses, parents dropping off, come directly into the building. Once the school day begins, we lock these doors down and everybody comes in through the front entrance. Behind me or next to me, you'll see a large area with some trench work that's occurring. Back will be a large group instruction room. In front of it's a couple classrooms with a hallway to that large group instruction room. So at night, we can have PTA, we can have booster groups make use of these spaces. So we're currently at the site of one of 2 elevators that will be put in, and we're adjacent to the gymnasium. So actually the wall behind me will be taken out and there'll be a hallway that'll go to this elevator. And then this elevator will service all 3 floors. The gym is actually below ground level as you go around the building. So this will be 1 floor, the main floor from the front entrance of the building, and then the second floor or the top floor. This elevator will service all 3 floors. The other elevator will be in the academic wing, and it only needs to service 2 floors. Now, one other thing I want to talk to you about has to do with this pit right here. We had to go down 6 feet. And we discovered just after a foot or so, it was all stone. So we had to have a special machine come in here, a wet saw that could cut corners and get down in there. And it was a lot of extra work, but they did it very well. Thank you. As you can see, we're in the IMS gymnasium. And I believe this is going to be one of the most transformative places in the whole building. Right now, you can see we have a brand new gym floor we just put in this past year. And the walls and the rest and the ceiling will all be new. It's going to look fabulous. And of course, in the backside of the gym, we have locker rooms. Those locker rooms will be sized to the right size. Right now, they're way too large. And then we're going to have a couple classrooms and then a fitness center put in this area. It's going to be really a nice use of the space. So the last area we want to share with you is the potential growth that we're going to have by using the current locker room space. I'm standing in the female locker room. Behind me, you'll see there's about 700 lockers that we really don't need to use that amount of lockers with the students in the school. So this will be downsized. We also have large shower areas that will be also down to just 2 stalls that will really make more use in what we're doing. Behind me, past the lockers, will be the area of 2 new classrooms, potentially 2 health classrooms, and then a fitness center, a fitness weight room / cardio room will be put in to kind of cap things off. Hope you've enjoyed the tour of Independence Middle School. We've gave you the progress update. We hope to be back once we have more to show you as we progress and move along.